Hi, Brendan from Musiqhub Hawke's Bay here again. The second exercise we're going to look at, hopefully you've gone through and done the first one, just with those open strings. Just getting used to playing different strings, okay, very important. Looks easy, can take a little bit of time. Okay, the next exercise is we're going to bring our left hand into play now, okay. This one, definitely start off nice and slowly, making sure all the notes that we're going to play are really clear. Speed will always come later. Go for accuracy first. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to use one finger per fret space. Now, what a fret space is between, this big thick bit along here, this is called the nut. This is our first fret wire. So our first fret space is between the nut and the fret wire. So we want to play notes in between those ones there. If we move along to the next one, that'll be our second fret space, our third fret space, and again our fourth, okay? We can use those four to start with. Okay, and the best way to play a note is, like if I play, I'm going to be right behind the fret wire here. I don't know if you can quite see that. I'll zoom right in for this one. Okay, so you can see there, my finger's right behind that fret wire there. So I get a nice clear note. If I come back this way a little bit, I'm still in the first fret space, but, oh, yeah, he's not so good. And I've got to squeeze. I can't see that I'm squeezing this really hard now. And that's really starting to hurt my finger. If I had to do a whole song like that, I'd be in big trouble. Okay, so what you want to do is just come up a little bit, put just enough pressure to make that note come out. And what I'm doing behind the neck is I'm pinching like this, okay? So my thumb's behind my finger, pinching down like that, okay? I don't want to have my thumb out the front here. It'll work, but you're not going to get very far, okay? It's going to be pretty clumsy. So make sure your thumb is pretty much behind your first finger there, and you're pinching down, okay? You see kind of there, it's pinching down, I'm squeezing between those notes, okay? Again, if I'm on top of the fret wire, I'll get this. You can see my fingers right on top there. Ooh, I'm gonna get that clunk. So just make sure we're as far behind there as possible, okay? So all we're gonna do is we're gonna use one finger per fret, okay? And once I've played a note, I can actually take my finger off. I don't have to leave it down there. If you can, that's okay. I'm just gonna take my finger off, so I'm gonna go like that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you'll notice I'm trying to use the very tips of my fingers as much as possible. If I use the flat bits, it's okay, but as I come up the neck, it's going to get pretty awkward, okay? So get in the habit of just using the very tips of your fingers. This will come in handy for chords as well. Okay, and you will notice this little finger. Oh, he's tough. It's going to take a little bit of work to get that guy working, but do persevere. Very worth the effort, okay? So all we're going to do now is we're going to go through each string, okay? You can sit on one string for quite a while if you want to. And you can pick these things down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. Or you can just go down, down, down. You probably don't notice the difference in the picking there. It doesn't really matter at this stage. The point of this exercise is getting all these fingers working. And once you can do on that first string quite confidently, you can go a lot slower. Even slower if you need to, okay? Go for accuracy first. And once you've got that first string done, move up to the next one. Remember, try and get right behind those fret wires and just put just enough pressure, okay? And behind the neck there, my thumb's moving up with my fingers. They're right behind, it's kind of in between the first and second finger. Next string. Next string. And what that looks like from a distance, so you can see everything working at once with my picking hand and my fingers now. Okay. What I'll do this time around, I'll just go do 4 notes on each string. Okay. Don't feel like you've got to do that straight away though. You can just sit on that first string for a while until you get the strength in your fingers, because it does get a little bit harder up here. Okay, it looks easy, but it can be a little bit harder up there. So if you need to sit on just one string for a little while, that's perfectly fine. And when you feel up to it, just slowly move up all the strings, okay? But just from a distance, this is what this exercise looks like. come back down again. Just like that. Keeping, well, you can notice that my pick hand is just not moving a lot, man. I've just got just enough to move through all those strings, okay? Remember to go super slow if you need to. The other thing that could help you with this one is back here in the first, second, third and fourth frets. It's quite a bit of a stretch for your fingers, especially for smaller hands. So what you could do, if you wanted to, is just move up anywhere. I'm going to move to the 5th fret here. If we count them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, that 5th fret area, the fret wires are a little bit closer. You don't have to spread your fingers out as much. Again, it'll just be the same thing, concentrating on our fingers. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4. It doesn't matter where you do it. You might find all the way up here at the 9th fret if you can get your fingers down here. It doesn't really matter where you do it for now. The point of this exercise is getting these fingers working independently, okay? And you probably didn't notice, but in my head here, I'm thinking 1, 2, 3, 4. It corresponds with the notes that I'm playing, 1, 2, 3, 4, but also the fingers that I'm using, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to become very important later on, numbering our fingers, okay? Especially when we start learning chords. If I'm going to do a G chord, for example, 1st finger, I'll be talking about 1st finger on the 2nd fret of the A string, your 2nd finger on the 3rd fret of the E string, and your 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the high E string. So getting to know these finger numbers might seem pretty basic, but it's going to come in real handy when we're learning how to do other songs and playing chords and things like that. Okay, so do start that one nice and slowly. If you have to sit on one string for a long, long time, until you can get that, perfectly fine. If you can just do it with down strums, or you just do it with up strums, just trying to miss all those other strings over the side as well, or you want to do it up and down. Doesn't matter which way you do it for now. Getting these fingers working is the key. Alright, thank you very much.